Good day everyone, I am Arvin J. A. Million. I am the last reporter for Group 2 and I'm going to discuss the sample detailed lesson plan we have provided where experiential and situated learning is applied. This is a detailed lesson plan coming from our last year's practice teacher, Ma'am Chesril May Nero, and it was all about calculating measures of position, specifically percentile for group data. So let's try to scan her objectives first. So learning objectives at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to A. Recall the different measures of position, quartile, and decile for group data. B. Calculate specified measure of position percentile of a given set of data for group data. C. Perform the given task with accuracy and engage students in an interactive class participation. So, to apply the experiential and situated learning on lesson objectives, it must include applications that are results of experiences and observations, such as recalling, defining and explaining, solving or calculating, performing, analyzing, creating, etc. So, upon seeing the lesson objectives of Ma'am Nero, we could see here that the experiential and situated learning is applied. So, under the content, so the topic is calculating measures of position for group data, the references, Mathematics 10 learning module, quarter 4, module 2, and the materials used, animated PowerPoint presentation, flashcards, and laptop. The value, engage students in an interactive class discussion and develop cooperation through active participation. So under the learning activities, so of course, the prayer, greetings and checking of attendance. So, Ma'am Nero stated here that once she called their name, they will say present. So it is an interactive way of checking the attendance. So moving on, to apply the experiential and situated learning, the motivation, review, discussion, application, and assignment part must be interactive. So interactive means it requires students' participation, individual or group participation. Students needed to learn by seeing, doing it by themselves, or experiencing it. So upon checking the motivation part of Ma'am Nero, I could say that it was interactive even if it is an online class. So Ma'am Nero engaged students in an online chit chat. The review part was also interactive with an activity called Choose Me. So the direction each of the students will pick a mystery tent. Each tent contains a question that will be answered by the students individually. So the students are expected to raise their virtual hand and answer the questions in an active manner. Next, upon scanning the discussion part of the review topic, we could see here that it looks also very interactive because while discussing here, we could see that the students were also solving and answering by themselves with Ma'am Nero. So with the proper discussion part, it was also interactive because Ma'am Nero engaged the students in the discussion while having them answer also by themselves together with her. So for example, here in step 1, the students are also subtracting the smaller number per class to 0.5 to get the lower boundaries. So these are the lower boundaries that the students are expected to get. And then moving on here in this part, so adding the frequencies in an upward manner to get the less than cumulative frequency. So 6, they add 12 and they get 18, 18 they add 9 to get 27, etc. And another, calculating for the P sub 60 class here. So they are expected to get 30. And then lastly, on the step 5, solving for the P sub 60 using the formula provided. So moving on to the second example, so this is the solution for the P sub 90. So of course, same process. The students will also solve for the P sub 90 class, of course, here. Its frequency, its lower boundary and cumulative frequency before. And then lastly, they will solve uh, P sub 90 using the given formula with Mom Nero. On the application part, the try this activity looks very interactive as the students get their notebooks and pens and starts answering for the given task or activity, applying the steps they have learned in calculating for the nth percentile. Next, the generalization part was just a review of all the lessons they have discussed. Ma'am Nero could have asked some students to generalize also by themselves about the things they've learned to make it more interactive. Proceeding with the evaluation part, the students will try to solve by themselves for the missing numbers on the table involving their main lesson or topic, of course, which is all about calculating for the percentile of group data. So it involves application. So therefore, experiential and situated learning is applied. Lastly, on the assignment section, applying the knowledge and learning they have acquired, the students will try to calculate for the given quartile, decile, and percentile of the scores of 50 learners in Mathematics 10 in a 40-item test. So given the class interval scores and the frequency, they will solve it by themselves at home. So looking back on Ma'am Nira's learning objectives, we could see that she met her objectives. So first, they have recalled the different measures of position, quartile, and decile for group data. They have calculated specified measure of position, percentile of a given set of data for group data, performed the given task with accuracy, and engaged students in an interactive class participation. So almost all of the activities were interactive and done in an individual manner. So Ma'am Nero could have also included some group activities so that students could learn also with groups or with their classmates and not just by themselves. And if it's not online class, teacher could have done the activities live recitation on the board, either group or individual. So other additional comments, Ma'am Nero could have also added real-life situations on how we could apply the concept of calculating the percentile. So example number one, you are an 18-year-old male who is 6.5 feet tall and you are in the 99th percentile for your height. This means that of all the 18-year-old males, 99% have a height that is equal to or less than your height. Another example, scored in the 75th percentile. This percentile means that you earned a higher score than 75% of the other students who took the exam. So that ends my report for today. Thank you so much for listening. God bless us all.